Hello everyone and welcome to today's No FOMO charts, stocks and crypto technical analysis live stream. It is Sunday. It's about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the USA. There's a lot going on this week, so let's take a quick look at the weekly watch list here. Again, welcome everybody. If you're watching this for the first time, this is a technical analysis charts live stream for stocks, crypto, or Forex. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. Let's go ahead and get started. This week, I'm actually going to start at the bottom here. So, stock market earnings season is wrapping up. However, on this Wednesday, which is March 22nd, there is going to be the USA Federal Reserve meeting and the potential interest rate change, which is expected to be 25 basis points expected. At least in new surveys, at least 60 to 65% or 70% was that people are expecting the interest rate to increase 25 basis points. Now, if you haven't heard, there's been a banking crisis with the smaller banks and the regional banks here in the USA, most notably Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic Bank. Credit Suisse in the, if that's how you say it, in Europe, basically they had their own problem. Now all these larger banks in the USA, they did loan billions of dollars to the smaller banks. The government did try to purchase Silicon Valley Bank stocks. And not the stocks, but the bank assets. You can read all about it on the news, but it sounds like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. It is a big deal. The banking crisis is also what sparked the cryptocurrency market rally, because cryptocurrency is an alternate currency. It's digital currency as well. Gold rallied, crypto rallied as well. So these are probably the two biggest events and news that's going to change and shape markets this week. It's going to shake markets. The Federal Reserve meeting, the interest rates, inflation, recession talk, and also banking crisis. All these news reporters, they're probably just going to ask, what about the bank, XYZ, such and such questions. Okay, so in terms of the economic data releases, again, the FOMC is the number one of the top catalysts for this week. In terms of volatility, we also have existing home sales, unemployment claims, new home sales, durable goods, core durable goods, manufacturing, and flash services data as well. So stock market earnings season is wrapping up in terms of most large companies have already reported earnings. Now there's some smaller companies such as Foot Locker, Nike, GameStop, Chewy, Petco, General Mills, and Carnival Cruise Lines as well. GameStop for the meme traders, Nike for the larger cap traders. All right, so that's basically the general, very, very simple version of kind of the three aspects of the market that we need to look at in terms of news. Now, I do want to point out that this is both a stocks and crypto stream, but the reason I start with stocks first is because if you just think about what happened, if we think about what happened in the past 3 months, did we have more crypto catalysts moving and shaking the market, or do we have more stock catalysts? I believe we had more stock catalysts. Why? Inflation, the economy, recession risk. These banks that are going bankrupt, that's on the corporate side. That's on the banking side. That's not crypto side. We did have FTX, actually. That's probably one of the biggest catalysts. But I'm talking about like recent 30 days, let's say. Recent 30 days. Do we have more crypto or stock catalysts? More stock catalysts. That's why I look at stocks more than crypto. And I was talking to a colleague of mine, is that sometimes the price action leads the news first, meaning the technicals and the prices move first. And then the news reacts and reports to that. There is the flip side where we have situations like FOMC meeting or banks going bankrupt like Silicon Valley, where that news breaks first, and then we have the technical price reaction. So that's why I have one ear open to stock and economy news and not just staring at this chart all day long. All right. Let's get into it. SPY. This S&P 500 ETF. We are on a daily right now. So in the very, very short term, for 2023, we are in a bit of a downtrend right now. Now, somebody could say, I even saw in the Trading View new indicator tools in terms of the patterns, somebody could call this bullish continuation, maybe. Not really, but maybe. Okay, I'm also seeing a potential head and shoulders bearish pattern that we're kind of testing that neckline. If it keeps going down, it could go about 5% to the downside, which would take us to 370 on the S&P 500 here, SPY ETF. Now, the bullish reverse case of that is, what if we're just riding this support line here, the trend line, and if there's actually a bullish reaction this week to FOMC, then we could rally up to 406.52. This resistance as such. We could also have the Fibonacci's in place, and voila, the target magically goes to the 618. We bounce out the 50% up to the 382 retrace, and now we're holding. On the weekly, this bullish piercing, it's not a bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfing would actually be this candle where the basically this candle, for example. This is just a piercing candle. I'll just stay on the daily for now, for today. I'm trying to go a little bit shorter than usual because I believe that some people are kind of dropping off because sometimes technical analysis can be kind of heavy or dense. So I try to simplify for myself and other people as well. Now, Dow Jones, DIA on the daily. You could see for quite a while here, about 6 months, we went sideways. Then we lost the support. Now we had that subsequent support resistance flip. And this is essentially flagging to the right here. Is it extremely oversold on the daily? No, it is not. Weekly is not even super oversold either. That would mean we have a market crash for that to happen. Potential upside down head and shoulders on this 4 hour, right at the pre-market here. 2.5%. I am not looking at futures right now, so futures might have different information. This is the ETF from Friday. If we want to look at futures, maybe we go to a little YM. This is delayed futures. All right, so it's not quite an upside down head and shoulders. This is the delayed data right here. A little bit of this fade down. Still 2% target to the upside. Let's go back. All right, so this green actually is technically red right now. That's why sometimes it's useful to look at even a delayed futures chart. Asia market has not opened right now. Europe, Middle East, they haven't gotten on this. The markets have not opened yet. So we're very pre-market right now. Please keep that in mind. So with this Dow Jones, I could draw a trend line on the top side, and we have this support on the bottom side. You could see it was violated to the downside. Violated to the downside. If we have this upside target right at my X, is it super oversold? No. If we dig a little bit deeper, 5 minute, 15. Yeah, you can see it on multiple time frames. 15 minute, I mean, it's very obvious that something's trying to hold right here. So obviously we have this yellow bar of support on the bottom, just above that 315 level. Hopefully we get a little bullish bounce maybe for a day or two. I could see shorts closing their positions on Monday or Tuesday, or some day traders closing, or some swing traders closing their shorts just to avoid the volatility of Wednesday. So we could get a little bit of a bounce going on unless there's some significant super bearish news that happens. All right, let's move on here to QQQ. Now, the Qs, we had this bounce off a support level off of 287, rallying up to about 307, marked the spot. So tech has been rallying. Bitcoin has been rallying very nicely as well. Nice volatility in the crypto sector. Somebody might be saying, where's the setup here? Well, like I said, sometimes there is the bullish continuation, right? We had this uptrend, it starts downtrending. Sometimes though, when you start riding this level of support and you have a little bit of oversold with some momentum on a shorter term time frame, and you have a catalyst, it rallies. Double bottom, rally. Support play, rally. Oversold play, maybe sometimes with momentum, rally. Short term. So that's why I always prepare myself for two scenarios. We had support test here at the 50% retrace on on Monday, Tuesday, just several days after the stream. Rallying up to that 307, the 1 hour is in that overbought range. We're getting that little bit of pullback. So now the support is 301. Resistance where? 310. You go up a little more, 314. Okay, let's actually skip to gold now. GLD, look at this beautiful, take a look at this beautiful, beautiful rally. So you might be wondering, why? Why did this happen? Because we looked at it. We looked at my stream. Well, this is gapped up. My stream was right after this candle on the pink vertical line. We're saying double bottom. Why did it rally? Banking crisis, flight to safety. The psychology is, if we're going to have bank runs on the smaller regional banks, if that ever happens, I'm not saying that's happening, but if it happens, what's a safer asset? Cash? Gold? Bonds are not a safe asset right now because interest rates are going up and lowers the value of some bonds and mortgage-backed securities. So gold, cash, cryptocurrency, that's what I'm saying. Crypto needed to, we'll look at it later, but crypto needed to break above 25,000, which it did, and hold above there. Yes, it did. But we need people to take their cash and then buy something, right? So this is the catalyst that's happening right now. So if gold is going to keep rallying, it's high, low, high, higher, low. Okay, we're making this higher high. We're not getting a momentum fade yet. What I would try to copy paste for somebody who's trying to trade gold in this question box, the blue is right here. Right here. We had some gap up. We might see a little, it's like we have this green bar. We're going up into the 70 range, right? High, low, high, low. Once we get that little bit of bearish momentum, then we'll get that pullback. So it's on its way right now. Let me call the resistance. You can see a resistance at 194, big resistance at $200. Also intermediate resistance 186. Just box it in. I'm just boxing in the price, drawing trend lines as well. And you can see now, wow, we definitely see a resistance side here. So if it's going to break out or not, I would like to see several more gap ups to get an exhaustion gap up. And then you might know to take some short-term profit as a trader. Educational idea. Silver. Let's go to silver. We see this, the fading down. Then we get the oversold with the higher low on the RSI, with the higher low on this price as well. Gap up, gap up. Continuation. Looks like 4 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour overbought range. with the price. And you can see once we establish that level of support, we get oversold, we get some momentum, we get the breakout, and then the rally happens. That's where the money making, I shouldn't say money making, but potentially educational, profitable setup example. For paper trading, we could say money making, paper trading, paper money making. But in terms of how high is it going to rally, well, we're right at this resistance here. We do want to watch out for a super fake out. Why? Let's think two scenarios again. Bearish scenario is what? We have this large head and shoulders. It's not a perfect one because it has to be at the top of a move. It's not at the top of a move. So this could be a fake head and shoulders. But if it happens to be real for whatever reason, all right, there is a neckline here. And if it breaks down to the downside, we could see about 17% to the downside to about 1524. X. Right? 2077, right? Or 2243. We're looking at that. Support and resistance, not too hard in terms of if you're looking at a daily chart. Could keep going up to get that bearish momentum. I'm talking about the RSI here. We could get that, get a strong rally going on. All right, let's move faster. I'm going in detail on these beginning 4-5 because there's actually education just sprinkled in throughout here. Education, knowledge, information, even a little bit of strategy as well. So again, if you're a beginner or if you're intermediate or advanced, there's always something to learn or be refreshed on. And if you have requests, just go ahead and let me know in the live chat before we move on. So please don't ask me a request at the end. Ask me a request in the beginning. Just say hi and say, you know, Apple or hi, Bitcoin. If you have a request, just type it in. All right, US oil, I'm going to go faster here to speed up. So US oil is riding this lower support trend line. We had the gap down as well, and we see this measure move about 10%. 10% was hit. If we have the double the target, 20% to the downside to this $50 range. In terms of Fibonacci, we'll go all the way back to the pandemic low. Fibonacci this. All right, we see almost reaching that 50% retrace area. The $54 can be our downside target. If it happens to rally again, because it is getting to that oversold range in the 4 hours at least, we might, once the momentum builds, be able to see possibly a 4 to maybe a 7% bounce as well, depending on what's going on with the price action. UNG again, I keep saying this every single time on the stream. We had this nice rally of 40%. Starting to fade again. It's not quite turning into an upside down head and shoulders yet. Okay, if that's true, it has to break above the neckline of about 875. So it's not really, the pattern is not complete until it breaks above and does that rally. If not, we could hit the support again. It's kind of interesting. It's fluctuating side to side like this, right? So you just want to watch out for that. 25% range. So UNG is a very volatile ticker, ETF, natural gas, does not respond to technicals, but sometimes when you catch the really, really oversold, you could get like a 20 to 40% bounce. All right, let's go move on really quick. Let's just quickly look at sector ETFs just really fast. I'm not going to do full technical analysis on them, but let's just go down the line because especially XLF, right? Remember, I talked about this. XLF, what's going on here? There's this bearish head and shoulders pattern. We had the banking crisis and we crashed down on many bank stocks. This ETF crashed down about 11% over time. Let's think about it though. How long did it take to get down here? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Is the banking crisis over? No, it's not over. But Has it been shorted down a lot? Yes, it has. So I don't show those on purpose because for beginners, they're going to get the wrong idea, I would say. So, you know, people are free to find their own ideas on the news in terms of the banking. When something crashes hard and something's going bankrupt, some people might, I know some Wall Street bets people, like when we were playing Hertz, or when they were playing Avis or Hertz, you know, there was that bankrupt play. But this is different though. This is like companies basically borrowing short too much, so to speak, people loaning long too much, the interest rates crashing the value of bonds. It's really, really messy. So that's why trying to point somebody to that is no. Warren Buffett taught me in his book, we're looking for good companies, not just good companies, but companies with a durable competitive advantage, with a strong moat around them. So some of these bank stocks have shown weakness, actually, not strength. So in terms of sound investing advice, I'm not going to show that to people, if you're wondering why. All right, so watch out for this oversold play. We might get the bounce depending on Wednesday. So I'm going to keep watching this in the bank stocks up until Wednesday and Friday. We'll see what happens. Hello, thank you for the request. I will take a look at that. Thank you. All right, XLRE energy, a little bit of this dropout here, but getting to that oversold range. There is possibly this potential reversal spot if it hits the resistance back to $82. Support at $73. Very simple, still downtrending. But let's see if we get an oversold bounce. XO Utilities, XOU, we had the higher low here and the higher high. Possibly trend reversal here, 618 reversal. So we might get the higher high to $68 if it keeps going. XLI lost the support. It's fighting the support around $97 as well. But the fact is this, right? It went from low to relative high, and it's getting stuck there, and it's range bound right now between 95 and 105. So if it doesn't watch out for the breakdown on XLI. XLV, almost a double bottom, a little bit of momentum forming on this daily chart. The 4 hours trying to hit this 123. All right, $71. All right, 16%. In terms of the measured move, all of that, right? In terms of the rally, not the measured move. The measured move is actually 5%. 5% breakout, $76 to the upside, 76 to the upside, $67 to the downside. Watch out for those. Let's go even more rapid fire. XLY getting stuck under resistance. See if you can have a breakout. If not, it's going to fall back down to support. XLB, we already see it falling down below support. We might get a little day trade bounce up to 77.68. XLRE, real estate. Now we see this falling to the 618 zone. So just like one of those other ETFs I was just showing, is if it doesn't crash down all the way back down to the super mega target of 33.24, it might establish a higher low, right? So it can go lower, totally fine. $35, totally normal. If it doesn't, hold above here and then try to bounce to 37.58. XLK, so here's the difference, right? This is the tech sector. Was it going to hit this? It could have. That was the bearish target, did not fulfill. We had this support bounce play up to resistance. So now we have a doji, almost shooting star, a little doji here on the daily candle. Suspicious. You're going into a little 15 minutes, and it's actually up cross on the 15 minutes. So short-term traders, they're trying to rally this, the price, high, low, high. Watch out for the higher low, though, right about 141. All right, I'm not going to do all those. Now, I did have a couple requests from the previous stream, so I want to do those because I missed those on the stock. So somebody asked for Roku and somebody asked for Groupon. So let's just look at those These are just requests. These are not recommendations. Okay, so Groupon. Somebody asked me for this. Now, as we can see, Groupon is in the NASDAQ and it has been downtrending for 10 years. Has been downtrending for 10 years. So in terms of, you know, I'm sure if you go on TV and you ask Jim Cramer, what about Groupon? Well, he might say the company financials maybe are doing not so great, right? Because every earnings, they seem to be doing bad for the most part, right? So TradingView has financials here that are actually important, sometimes more than the chart. Because if it's just pointing down like that, it's like, wait a second. Well, let's hold the line, hold the horses for a second. Let's go into the financials here. Look at the growth and profitability. Look at the revenue, the blue bars. And when I look at this, this is going down for 5 years straight. So as an investor, I don't like that. Net revenue, profit margins tanking because why? Why? Because Groupon is like a coupon service basically for products and services. And if people are not using it, or because of pandemic, the demand went down, right? Because now people can go out. They should, in theory, use more coupons. But if the product and service is not as good enough, people don't like it anymore, then their profit margin is going down, right? It's not the full, thesis around it, but it's just the general idea. Also, look at their earnings estimates. Revenue is just down. Earnings, EPS, down as well. So they had a spike in the pandemic, and it's not a dividend stock either. In terms of volume, only 5 million volume as well. So the shares float is 16.78 million. That's almost like Bitcoin's float size. So this is a very small stock to me. And, hopefully one day it'll bounce back. But just right now, even if you're just doing it by feel, is Groupon is not the most trendy company or stock. The only thing I have to say is if you're trying to maybe short this thing, okay, I guess I understand that. When you asked me for it for like a week or two ago, because it has been considerable short. Now, you just want to watch out for when it gets super oversold down there. You might get a little bit of a bounce. It's not going to it might not rally, 100%. But the last time that happened here, when the RSI got this low in 15, it kind of rallied about like maybe 25%. So it really depends on a trader what they're trying to do. Because when people ask me for a ticker, there's actually a series more of questions that are coming to my mind as well. What's the risk what's the risk tolerance of this person? Or for me, what is my entry, my profit targets, my stop loss? What's maximum dollar loss? Is this person a day trader, swing trader, investor, or hodler, or forever investor? What type are they? What country are they in? What broker do they, you know what I mean? So there's so many questions that can arise before actually entering the trade. Now, in terms of ATR, in terms of volatility, it's like, yeah, so 15 to 30% up or down. And we had this downward move probably since the last time you asked me. So it already made that move short to the downside. Just watch out for that. And if a move is already too overextended in either direction, honestly, I'll just say pass. Pass. Because sometimes what I learned in stock market, actually it's also in life, is just try not to chase things so much. Let it come to you. Or prepare so much, work so hard that it just comes to you. Meaning, for example, Roku, the second request, Roku. We're on a daily chart now. I'll do the same similar kind of analysis. Yes, we could look at the chart. For a second though, let's actually put our fundamental caps on and just kind of look at the financials for a second here. Founded in 2002. Okay, EPS is negative $3.60. You got negative EPS on this stock. Meaning, actually, I'll skip that part. So in term is negative EPS, that's not good. Okay, I'll just say it like that. It's not good. All right. Interestingly enough, their revenue has been increasing. Very interesting. But you can see here the net income of this for last 2022 is negative. That's why you have a negative EPS. The profit margin is also down. So Roku took a huge hit. The stock crashed, the market crashed, demand crashed. Although they had decent earnings this one report, but the net income, are they making money? Net income was negative. Okay. So in terms of the estimates, so EPS right here, 2022 took a huge hit. Right, it was positive. I remember this like 1 or 2 years ago. It was like, oh, they had a really good year or quarter or something. It was like over, it's positive like $1 or something, and now it's negative $3.63 with no dividend. Down here, you have the debt free cash flow, right? Debt increasing a little bit. This little pink bar, you might not be able to see it that well. Free cash flow in terms of the small blue. For last year, negative 140 million. They used to have, so they, there's a lot of question with this company. It's like, what's going on here? The health. You do have some cash though. Okay. This is just the very basics too. I mean, there's more here. Statements. If you're like this charts, I like that they have quarter over quarter as well. But just looking at some of those, and then in terms of the trading, it's like, okay, 7 million, you got 122 million flow. All right. Market cap of 9 billion. Okay, great. And then just in terms of the social sentiment, how popular is Roku? Am I going to pick Roku or Apple TV? I'm going to pick Apple TV. Am I going to pick Roku or Amazon TV? Amazon TV. Fire Stick. One of those things, right? YouTube TV, except it got more expensive. So that's why. Is Roku the hottest tech stock, the hottest streaming device right now? No, it's not. Can they make a comeback? Yes. Did they have to work on it a lot? Yes. In terms of the products and the services. Now, that's the quick overview. You can see in terms of the uptrend, it was lost. Nice double top. Loss of the short. Nice meaning this is bearish, so it's going to go down. Downtrending into the support level, right? Low, low, low. We lost the low on the big market crash. Downtrending as hard as it can. Where? Probably to a 0.88 or below. Yes, below the 0.88. We get super oversold there. Then there's that reversal right here at the beginning of the year. So this person who requested this might be probably wondering because tech rebounded. You look at a lot of tech stocks, it looks exactly like this chart. Roku trades very similar to a lot of these tech stocks. Crash, significant for a year, 1.5 years. You bottom out a little bit. You get a nice catalyst or super oversold, and you get bounced up in the tech sector. Talk about AMD, talk about NVIDIA, Tesla, Roku. Netflix was a little bit different because they crashed first, but the person might be wondering, what's next? Well, as long as we hold these lows, okay. I don't want to be all doomsday person, but if it's bearish, I'm going to have it's not a bearish mindset, but everything I say is going to be bearish, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's going down, how can I say that it's good for longs? What I could say here is, all right, maybe there's an upside down head and shoulders with the inverse neckline right here. If this is a super bull target, 62% would take us back to 76. Definitely possible. The super target would be double that. Is it going to happen in 5 days? No, probably not. Now, risk management, this quote by Warren Buffett is, we always want a what? An MOS, margin of safety. So what that means is, his quote, I'm paraphrasing. He said, instead of going over a bridge that says weighted for 10,000 pounds, so to speak, and my car weighs 9,000 pounds, or my truck, that's not safe, right? There's only like, what, like 11% safety range versus if it's a £10,000 bridge, maybe I'll take a 2,500 pound car over it. So I have like a 75% margin of safety. Does that make sense? So in terms of margin of safety, what does that mean? Well, he's talking about fundamentals, but I also apply that to like my trading and my stop loss is if I was trying to get into Roku or any of these tech stocks that people are talking about right now, is we know we bounced off either the November or the December or the January low, and then we rallied up from that from now. Same thing with Bitcoin. We have this low here, right? And Roku at, where is this? 38.32. We have another relative low of 48 and a closer low at 60. So even if somebody just randomly buys here right now, there is an up to -20 to a -40% downside risk on Roku just as an investment. There's like a -25% risk with a 50% upside. How long do you have to hold for that? 3 months, 3 to 6 months? Is it going to keep going up? Well, that depends on the FOMC as well. The first target is here, 76.74. The downside immediate is 54.33. So these are the two levels that I'm staring at right here. Here and here. Right? You want to watch out for that. Okay? Now, to make myself even more clear is this is basically kind of going sideways. You're holding the support here. As soon as it starts dropping, going downstairs, I would be careful of that on all tech stocks. If FOMC just one red, let's say if FOMC chairman says we're raising the basis point 25 basis points. Okay. We might probably gonna have a little red day for like a day or two, right? But then if it starts developing into a real downtrend, then you know, okay, wait a second, this is not just a little pullback support play. This is a downtrend, and we have a major problem. So I would stay away from this type of setup. However, if it's a zero increase on the bips, on the basis points, and saying because of banking sector crisis, we're not going to raise interest rates for a month to see how things go. If he says something like that, then you might actually see that rally. That's why we have two targets. All right, we're more than halfway, but I feel like these two examples, there's a lot of education sprinkled in there. Hopefully you learned something or just got refreshed from that. All right, let's go to crypto. Before I go to crypto, I just want to say thank you for watching and following. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch, and we have a Discord group as well. If you have a request, just go ahead and type in the live chat, and we could cover that request before the stream is over. I see somebody has MCUSDT. I'm just going to go ahead and do the total Bitcoin, and then we'll do your request. It's good to look at the broad market index just before we go into altcoins. All right, so total market cap. All right. We have this resistance on the top here. So we just broke out of that. We just broke out that resistance. Beautiful. What I've been saying on crypto for months now is we have to stay above, in terms of market cap, the 750 billion. Good. Then we have to stay above 800. Good. Now we have to break above and hold above 1 trillion. Good. Good. Now what do we need? We just need to never go below $1 trillion market cap for a true rally. I was saying last time we might have this upside down head and shoulders. We basically sort of got it. It didn't quite go all the way down to where it was going to go right here in terms of 800 billion, but it's close enough. Yeah, the neckline inverse, if it goes up, could be a 40% rally from here, right? What is the catalyst? The banking sector crisis. People don't want to leave their money in bogus banks that's going to go bankrupt on liquidity and uninsured deposits. What's safer investment right now than a smaller regional bank? Well, cash, FDIC insured banks, or crypto, alternate currency. So just to make myself 100% clear, because sometimes people misinterpret what I'm saying, or I'm saying it a different way, is if we establish a higher high, that would be good. Then if it pulls back, it's okay. It's okay. It just needs to not crash. Okay. There's a difference between a pullback down or a larger pullback down versus a downtrend when it starts downtrending like this side. That's a major problem. That's bear market action. If we have this potential higher low reversal, then okay, this is our major support in the sand, 890 billion and 1 trillion somewhere, wherever it is. 1 trillion right here. Now, you can see last week, a lot of people bought that up. Weekly hammer candle turning into a morning star reversal on the weekly. Gotta love it. Got to love it. On the charts, we zoom in a little bit on the 4-hour. Golden cross on the 4-hour. Is this our real one? Even though it's losing bearish momentum, so it could crash down. The market could crash down -5 to 10% if it really wanted to, or it could continue rallying because you can see it's riding the up wave. All right, let's try to get to 1.2 trillion crypto traders all around the world. All right, BTC USD, very similar. Let's use a Gemini or something like that. Fresh chart. Bitcoin USD, the trend lines are going to look similar, but you can see breakout retest, right? Remember what I was saying? I think it was two streams ago that I was saying, watch out for this in terms of riding. It's riding that support line, riding it. So sometimes the setup is breakout, pullback, retest, up. Breakout, pullback, retest, pullback, retest, catalyst, support play. Yes, that's what the traders have been waiting for so long on crypto, just thirsting for that setup. Now, the weekly, we did have a little bit of this problem here earlier, about a month ago. Hit resistance and pull back, but you can see a strong hammer candle, very strong hammer candle on March 6th with this EMA support. So what does that mean? There's demand. Also, the bull saying we are defending our position. Defending our position. 4 hours, beautiful golden up cross. Similar analysis applies that this could keep rallying to the upside, and once you get severe bearish momentum, then you might see a pullback. But you might, if we break 30,000, I mean, then you're going to start hearing the hype. Then you're going to start hearing the hype of, oh my gosh, did you hear? Bitcoin's above 20,000 or 25,000. Oh my gosh, did you hear? Bitcoin's above 30,000, and the word spreads on social media. So it is golden cross. That's all I'm going to say right now. Bitcoin is golden cross on the EMA. If you see here, it's the yellow and the red. We had this pin bar, if you know what that is, the pin bar setup. Okay, retest that. Go, go, go. But the problem is, if somebody buys in right now, like let's go to this person request. MCUSDT has been waiting for a long time. MCUSDT on Binance. All right, the Binance ICO was December 2021. We'll look at some of these metrics here on the coins. MC, I'm just going to call it MC. Volume, 16 million. Actually, I got to bring up CoinMarketCap for this. On a different screen, I am looking up MCUSDT. We'll do a little bit of research here. I don't think I'm allowed to show this on the screen. I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, is this Minecraft? Isn't Minecraft? Is this Minecraft coin? All right. No, I don't think it is. Can you tell me the name of this one? Whoever requested this, can you tell me what the name of this is? Because on the DEX screen, it looks totally different. It's one of these like one of these coins. All right, because sometimes you can't even find the Merit Circle. Okay, thank you. Because there's also an MC USDT. It's Minecraft coin. All right. Somebody's having too much fun with that. Merit circle. All right. Well, if it's not easily discoverable, that's also a problem in itself. So this means it's much smaller coin. The average volume only 6 million, and it's downtrending right now. But the good thing is, all right, we just looked at the total chart and the Bitcoin chart as well. We know that Bitcoin's rallied like this, right? Bitcoin had its bottom and it rallied something like that. What am I seeing here on this? If this is the correct chart, now I'm like double checking, because crypto, we have to really make sure we're looking at the correct. We're looking at the correct one. Okay, good. All right. So what I'm trying to say is double bottom, right? Going sideways. So, okay, if you're asking me right now, it's like 6 days. So might have just missed that bottom play, but it's stuck in the middle here. So if I were to open a long position right now, what's my risk to the downside support? Is negative 25%. That's an investment stop loss. So somebody's going to have to, if I was to play this, I would be, it's like yellow light right now, because why? We came into a downtrend and we went sideways. That's good. We had the double bottom. That's good. So this thing will not take off to the moon, because you have to think about it. It has to break out above 42 cents first. It hit the 25-cent range. Now it's in the middle of that 34-cent range. So it's going to be up to a trader and for me to decide. This is not financial advice. If I was going to trade this, I have to decide, all right, where exactly would I buy? Would I buy at the circle, top circle, or the X? In other words, where's my entry going to be? Because if I have a negative 25% stop loss in a small amount of capital, so this is not a FOMO play, it's not an all-in play, it's a trade that's calculated. If you have been on my streams, we always talk about what? We always talk about entry of the buy spot, and then what else? Stop loss. Your emergency sell target in terms of dollars. Stop loss down here, and your profit targets on the upside. Right, I'll just put 1 for now, but you might have 2 or you might have 4. Right, profit target in terms of dollar and percentage. Right, stop loss also in terms of dollar and percentage. This is the entry into risk management. So there is something here, but it needs to rally continually. On a weekly, okay, if you look at it this way, on a weekly, there is that higher low. So if Bitcoin continues to go up, I would like to see this go up like 100% or like 120% to get there, because if it's going to do this pattern, higher high, higher low, it needs to blast off. But the whole market will need to blast off up with it, unless every single crypto trader is going to jump into Merit Circle or MCUSD. Right? This is more of a laggard play in terms of, it's not a bad coin. Your idea is not bad. It's that this is not, in the top 100 cryptos, I believe. So people are probably going to buy and invest in those other ones first, right? And then if this is like going to be one of the later coins to actually just kind of follow along. But I do like that it's cheap. $34, we got to be aware of that trap, but I do like the setup and the price of it, right? The setup meaning, if it kept going down, I would say like, it's not time, but actually there might be a reversal signal here. You might be able to get maybe 100%, 120%. maybe if you just hold on to that and understand that crypto could pull back and you might see red on this too. So it really depends. So the two spots, to make it simple, if I was going to trade this, right? Actually, I shouldn't erase those three. If I was going to trade this thing, there's only two spots that I would really care about buying, and I'll set an alert for you to see. Like 43 cents, breakout. Alt A that. 43 cents every time. Breakout long entry potential, question mark. Right? And set that on my alerts. Now, in terms of the breakdown, if it reaches this low again of 27 cents, I'll say, put an A here, 27 cents. So, breakdown support, long entry play, create that alert. So now you can see in terms of the red dots, I have two spots. I care about if it breaks out and keeps going up, I might initiate a long there. If it breaks down, maybe I'll watch it to see if the price is going to bounce and do this, or if the price is going to do this, right? Breakdown or breakout. So that's why this play is pretty straightforward. It's going to take time though. In terms of how much time and idea, how long did it take to get down here? It took 1 year, 1.5 years to get down here. So it could take 1.5 years to go up again. That's the thing, is the patience part, the patience. And then it's about, for me, then it's understanding that metric and then understanding, okay, if Bitcoin crashes, this thing will probably crash. If Bitcoin rallies, this will probably follow. So then it becomes a matter of, where am I going to buy? Where's my entry? Where's my entry? Yellow line, where are you? Where am I going to buy? If I, like I said, I just gave you the example. If I buy now, then what's my stop loss for me, right? So then the stop loss could be, educational example, like negative $100. Profit target could be, what is this? 50%. So then minimum like a plus $200, right? Or you could times it by 10 if your account size is that large. Or you could times it by 100 if your account size is that large, right? Or if your account size is smaller, if you're starting out, you want to do $10 stop loss. That is kind of too small, but just for practice. Or paper trading is free, right? You can just do all sorts of these things, right? But in terms of entry and position size, in terms of dollar position size, in the terms of the dollar size, all these things come into mind. But it's a step-by-step process. Ultimately, every trader is responsible for their own trading account, their own setups. All of this that I'm talking about is educational and something that I might do, and what I've learned from experience in my years of trading crypto is when, especially on a weekly setup, it takes time for that thing to blast off. Let's say Merit Circle, I'm just saying hypothetically, if this is one of those altcoins that goes like 250 or 500%, right? You're not going to hear about this one unless it goes up like 200%. Then you hear all the FOMO social media saying, oh my gosh, OMG, MCUSD, right? Merit Circle, everyone's going to flip out and lose their minds. So the fact that we're looking at it, even just thinking about it down here is like, that's a better spot. This better spot. As long as it doesn't lose the 27 cents and crash down to oblivion, then it's okay. Then it's okay in terms of a long setup. So hopefully this works out for you and you learn something from this. Again, this is not financial advice. It's all educational knowledge and information. And give an example of what I might say, what I might do, what goes through my mind before I open a position. And even looking at the ticker symbol, right? Because if you type in MCUSDT, there's a Minecraft coin or there's this one, Merit Circle. So you have to be, it's another lesson in itself to just, I learned it the hard way. Just triple check the ticker symbol and the name and double check it on your exchange, double check it on coinmarketcap.com. TradingView as well. All right, so let's go down some of these other altcoins as well. Let's just do a visual. I like to scan the market with my eyes. So Ethereum, it's in a rising wedge pattern, but after a major downtrend, right? It's kind of changed now. It was a symmetrical triangle, it bounced up. There's still that huge 80% or 50% target to the upside from the breakout spot. Okay, where is that? That's the X marks the spot, $2,000, about 2,200, etc. Right? In terms of Ethereum USDT, now it's kind of turning into this like upward rising wedge action. These trend lines are kind of strange, but now we have this interesting breakout that the measure move is different. The 30% move, right? Holding that support play. Support, support, support. That's the name of the game for longs. Support play, right? Because if you don't use technical analysis and you're only looking at a watch list or you're listening to other people, the move is always going to be late. The reaction is always late. The price is going to go up first. Then somebody finds out, they tell their friends, it spreads on the internet, and people find out too late. As analysts, we try to get in, we try to analyze, get forecasts, price levels, volume levels, especially price levels and alerts of where might the price go, where might I want to buy, and actually commit to that. So, you know, for example, if I'm looking at this for the very first time on Ethereum, I identify, all right, we got lows here, we got lows, lows. Now these are the highs on the resistance side. So what's the play? Okay, if it's going to be a breakout on crypto, there might be a breakout above the $2,000 level. So it's right now $1,800. Where's my downside risk? It's pretty large, negative 25% for investors in terms of this last big candle body wick. Negative 25%. So then my target could be like a 40% or 50% on a swing trade. For crypto, these are not impossible numbers. We just need people to come in and buy. Right? This low to high was 80%. So that's why it's not a ridiculous target for investing. We do want to watch out though, is in the short term, right? On the 1 hour, starting to lose momentum. It is probably up cross. Yes, it is, but we do have this bearish momentum forming. So at some point it's going to pull back. Will it pull back below 1700 is the question. Meaning, is the market in bull mode? And whenever we have a dip, our bull is going to defend that. Once that happens and everyone starts piling money into crypto in a month from now, 2 months, USA people are going to get their tax returns or refunds. They might pour more money into crypto if all this fear, the banks saying banks are bad, crypto good, right? If that mindset happens, we might see money inflows, cash inflows increasing into crypto over time. All right, Binance Coin. Now, the lesson here about targets is, yes, I can draw this down here, but does the price target always hit that bottom side like perfect? No, of course not, right? What happened in the past 2 weeks is a perfect example of the fundamental news overriding the technical charts. Fundamental news of big banks and FOMC interest rates and Russia-Ukraine war and China-Taiwan tensions and US-China tensions and COVID-19 going down and inflation, recession risk, all of that combined with the big bank news, boom, you have this big move to the upside. Also, though, at some point on the 15-minute or 1 hour, it was oversold right here, March 9. Super oversold. You get this bullish momentum set up. Double. You know, I'm getting excited just looking at this because, like, yes, this is what I want. The symmetrical triangle. So many signs. You might have to look at hourly. So many signs here. Sim triangle. Oversold. MACD histogram, momentum on the histogram. The MACD signal line cross. The higher low RSI, the higher low price, the breakout, the EMA cross. It's all there for the perfect formula if we're looking for it. If you have alerts or you're looking at it. 6% to the upside, the breakout. Where do we go? We went 4 times the target. Almost 3 to 4 times the target. Beautiful. Now we are in this golden up cross. Now, what is it going to be? Our line in the sand on BNB, the lowest support, I don't want to see broken as a bull, is $305. It could pull back to these shorter term EMAs, no problem. 333, 329, that's totally normal. Totally normal to pull back a little bit. If it pulls back all the way, okay, not that great, downtrending, then we're going to really need to defend it here as longs. Now, it's been a while since the market rallied. We know this, 1.5 years. And at some point, if I was talking to my colleague about this, if October, November, December, maybe even January were our market lows. I'm talking about what was the lowest price of crypto and stocks right here, somewhere like October, November, December, January. Those 4 months, that was like the low of crypto, right? Bitcoin. Now, half of my mind is saying, wait a second. If this is the bottom of crypto, truly, and we have nowhere to go but up from here, then almost any top 10 or top 25 crypto might be a decent play, right? Because on the daily, we do have this golden cross. Again, pierce down, bounce. Beautiful. We just want to watch out for the really, really kind of scammy coins, the really small coins where if they go, the company goes bankrupt, or one whale sells $50 million of that small baby coin and the whole market crashes on that coin, right? Want to watch out for those kind of plays. But if we're talking about big established coins, if it wants to moon, it's going to moon. One second, let me get a sip of water here. So again, hopefully this golden cross holds and this is the real uptrend of crypto. If it is, yes, we've been waiting for this almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. All right, Solana, low to high. We were deep. We were really oversold, right? It was negative 60% off. Negative 60, negative 90. Did I say 60s? Negative 96% off. Negative 97% off. My goodness. If you still believe in Solana, that's why we had that huge 100% retrace. Now, let's get into the future analysis. All right. If we're on a weekly, which I like to look at, okay, is Solana going up or down? It's going down still on an investment time frame. Talking 1 to 5 year time frame, still going down. Now, what's our lowest price here on Solana? $9. What's the hammer support for now? About $17. The breakout, $27. So, what I like to see on Solana, it would be great if we have a nice uptrend. Beautiful. And this is kind of that bullish continuation flag pattern that trading view pattern was talking about. I'll look at it at the end of the stream. Perfect example right here. But also, I'm drawing this trend line on the top. That could be our bullish target, $30, $40. But the price on crypto doesn't just magically jump up. It feels like that on a watch list. But because crypto's foreign exchange, basically, it's 24/7, meaning there are rarely gaps unless there's extremely fast moves. I've only seen like few gaps in my career on crypto trading happen in real time. But that's because the exchange like glitched out, and then the level 2 was moving so fast here on the side that it skipped the price. And it usually happens on intraday. Daily, it should not happen at all. It's just open and close. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Next, Cardano. Same thing with Cardano. We had the breakout, the retest. Can we get this Morningstar reversal and get back up to 42 cents on Cardano? Would be beautiful, right? Because we have such a huge downtrend, and now is the chance that crypto is trying to say, higher low, let's go to the moon. That's what crypto is trying to do right now. The question is we need the buyers, the cash inflow to keep coming in crypto like every week. How does that happen? Price, there's a catalyst first. Let's just pretend whatever, or for theory, this banking crisis, let's say this is the catalyst, right? The relief rally, higher low, and then try to bounce. But we need every week people to buy and then tell their friends like, oh, Cardano's going up. So Cardano's going up. You gotta buy, right? In terms of that mental, and then it's gonna spread like wildfire on social media. But usually it's not until we get this side, when you get the super uptrend where things are going like, oh my gosh, Cardano went 1000% in half a year. That's what triggers the massive spread of that information. Because when it's downtrending negative 90%, my chat was so silent for 6 months, right? So it's also obvious to me that because, you know, when we're looking at this low way back here in November, you know, nobody was here, but that was the beginning of that rally. Now people are thinking about the middle of the continuation of that rally. Can we make the higher high and actually reverse the trend for crypto? XRP still holding its higher low, actually. This symmetrical triangle could break out. So anybody in Europe who likes XRP, I used to have a lot of Europeans in here, but they all disappeared, right? In terms of the live chat stuff. So 68% is that measured move. There's quite a big move here to be had on XRP. That's our topside, my topside target. Negative 25% stop loss. Again, this is more like a swing trading, investment type of mindset. This is not day trading, not day trading. AVAX. Okay, AVAX, maybe a potential upside down head and shoulders on the slanted neckline. See if that goes to the upside. This is a weekly, so how long is it going to take? Half a year. But then what's the potential gain? 200%. These are the plays I like. I don't want 2%, right? I'm not a day trader anymore, or 20% as a swing trader. In terms of investor, you want double your risk, basically. Risk to reward. What's my risk? 25%. Small, medium percent position size, small, medium position size. So minimum take profit is here at $27. And then once I put the trade on, put the stop loss on, calculate the entry and the risk management, I'm hands off. See you at the 2 targets. I'm either making profit on that trade or I'm going to take the stop loss. That's the only thing I care about after that. Market makers try to scare people out of their positions. Sometimes they'll just sell, and then you actually get stopped out. Sometimes they'll just freak people out or scare people, spook them by market's going to sell off like halfway. Beginners would just cut their losses. They go, oh my gosh, red, I made a mistake. Cut it, sell it, and then turn the computer off. But you know, you don't want to become that person. So if you're having that issue right now, I would recommend paper trading. But if you're not having that issue in terms of emotions, then it's more of the thought process and the plan. I do see here, you might say, wait a second, what about the support? Yes, there is support down here at 850. If we start downtrending hard, which it could happen. That's why. Bull traps are sometimes bull traps. Just want to watch out. Dot, same thing, higher low. Dogecoin similar to XRP, riding its support. SHIB, higher low. Matic. Matic is upcrossed on the weekly. I do like that. Not quite super oversold, but it is upcrossing. Potential Morningstar pattern. I like this. This might be an ascending triangle on the weekly here. Wow, Cosmos, Adam. Wow. I do like this. So let me take the risk reward tutorial off there. But you see what I'm saying? You like your chart patterns? Here we got one. Potential ascending triangle pattern. A little bit dirty. It could be if someone was hyper, it could be a symmetrical triangle actually, just upon the angle. But that feeling of it's trying to break out above its resistance is there. And then, right, the hammer support. Very nice. High, low, high, higher, low, equilibrium. At least try to go back to the $14, Adam. Cosmos. Because we don't want to crash back to 1038. All right. Start to get a little bit silent here in the chat, so I think it's probably time to start wrapping things up. Hello? Oh, we have a request here. Okay, Coinbase, yes. So if you're a stock trader, there is a relationship between the crypto-related stocks and cryptocurrency itself. So that's probably a good place to end here after this one. So let's go to Coinbase. Coinbase. Now, looking at Coinbase on a weekly. All right. So last week it started up. Now, get the Fibonacci support levels all the way up here. All right. So it was in a weekly downtrend. Low, high with this lower low. The lowest price ever was like $32. Right? Higher high, higher low. If we get continuation to the upside, hopefully we can get to $100. Okay. I do want to point out, just like I was talking to the two other requests earlier, is let's just take a quick glance at the financials and the key stats because it's here. It's important. Market cap, 17 billion. Negative EPS, just to have that in people's mind. Negative 12, almost $12 negative EPS. Growth. Revenue down. Net income is down as well as an investment. EPS, at least for 2022, down. Right? And I remember seeing that, saying like they had some profitability, but then also, I'm paraphrasing, that their user demand and growth, I think, like stalled out, kind of went down. No dividends. Debt. Okay, reduced the debt a little bit, but the free cash flow, there's something very wrong with that. And the general cash is decreasing. So understand that. But, forward looking, if somebody's a contrarian, it has to go low before it goes high. So we did hit this crash, and you might not see the FOMO happen on Coinbase until it gets like way up here into like the 190s or something like that. So your entry is what? 77. Your profit target is where? 87. And your price is where? Stop loss at 68.97. Okay, so when we look at it this way, Casey, what time frame are you looking at? Are you looking at a daily chart? Because you told me you're swing traders. I'm just curious now. Are you looking at daily chart? Are you looking at 4 hours? Or are you looking at weekly? Are you looking at 1 hour? Let me know which chart you're looking at, because I want to make sure that we're looking at the same candle time frame. Because I always start off with daily. All right, so it looks like this trader is trying to play this one candle on the gap up, right? Well, the entry is of 77. Yes, is above this candle body wick. The only issue with this is, if pre-market, post-market crypto keeps rallying, and then you wake up, tomorrow at 6:30 or 9:30 or 8:30 for the USA stock market, and it's already gapped up, it's like, the entry is going to change. But the stop loss, I do like that at least this below this low. It's trying to break out above the 200 EMA, hopefully trying to cash out on the crypto side. Right? There is a sim triangle, the fake out, the dip, the oversold to the rally. Okay? So hopefully that made sense to you. Is it going up? Is it going down right now? In the short term, it's going up right now in terms of the last 5 days. The long term, it's still a downtrend. It's not confirmed uptrend. You kind of need a couple more up waves for someone to call that easily. Or officially, I should say. Not easily, but officially. High, low, higher high, please. Go to 100, please. That's what people want on this trade. Okay. All right. I do want to point out though, it's not a 2-to-1 play. So you really want to watch out for this. Unless I typed it in wrong, maybe your target's supposed to be 97, maybe. Because if you're using TradingView, if you look right here, it's kind of hard to see, but in the middle it says risk reward ratio. You want that to be like 2 if you're a swing trader. You're risking $1 to make $2. You're risking $100 to make $200, or risking $1,000 to make $2,000, or whatever the metric is. But the numbers you gave me, that one is almost, it's like 1.2 trade, 1.2 RR. So that one is a little too tight. Meaning that if it does go up, like you catch the entry and it does go up, then that sell profit target or the stop loss, trailing stop loss target is way too tight. It's tight. Let me check it again. Especially with this volatility, right? You want to have a little bit of margin of safety. Might get the resistance breakout though above 75. You want to watch out for that. All right, ATR is like $714. So it's like 10 to 20%, just in case, right? Yeah, I see what you're doing here. So then, yeah, so the target should probably increase up to like a $92 target. That's what I would say to open it up, a $93 target. Because then, yeah, at least allowing it to run a little bit. It's just the price needs to kind of hold for you. You're looking at daily? I see. Okay. Okay. Sometimes these comments like doesn't come until 5 minutes later. And my next question for this trader, because it's very respectable. At least you have entry, risk reward, stop loss, profit targets. Most people who are starting out trading or who are doing this don't use charts at all, or don't even use stop loss or risk management at all. And that's why I never hear from them ever again after they do like 10 trades. So, name the game and survive, try to make profit. But for you, Casey, I'm just wondering, are you using indicators? Like, you don't have to tell me what they are if you're not comfortable with that, but are you using other indicators, or are you just looking at naked price like this, naked and volume, price and volume like that? In other words, are you drawing trend lines? Are you doing support and resistance? Are you using moving averages like I am? Are you using RSI? Are you using MACD? And are you using the risk reward tool? Just trying to dig a little bit deeper, because I am grateful that you ask for requests every week. Just now I'm curious about the information. Because for me, I'm just saying, and this, this is not any make anybody feel bad, but in terms of my strategy, if I want to play Coinbase, I can immediately see right here, this is my strat. Right here, I see it on the charts. When I line it up between here and here, I can see that happening. Maybe another entry like when it get intraday oversold here like a week ago. No indicator. I see. Okay. So that I'm just going to tell you right now, doing it that way is a lot harder. If you don't use any indicators at all, then I would recommend at least using chart patterns. So this is a good segue, actually. The tools and the chart patterns. So the tools that I'm talking about, I'm just going to stay on Coinbase just to show people, is you have all these tools on the left side. So right now we're looking at Coinbase stock. And I'm looking at the daily chart, and I'm looking at the all-time life for like 1 year or 5 years or 2 years. But this all-time life is about 2 years on this chart. Daily price candles. Even if you don't use indicators, understanding, is it going up or down on this entire chart? Is it going up or down? It's still in down mode. But if it can rally out of there, we could reverse to an up mode, right? So once you start drawing, I drew one trend line, then it's already clear. Oh, wait a second. This thing had a breakout, retest, bullish continuation flag, and then potential breakout. Right? If you measure this move, it's like a 25%, which does match the volatility. Oh, it could be at 50%. It might take a while. 50% target would be $100. So it's already half that way. Watch out though, on the shorter term time frames, this thing can pull back on you. Right? If you go to like a 15-minute. Yeah, 5 minute, 1 hour. Okay, a little bit overbought, but still, just like crypto, it's in the uptrend direction. But there's bearish momentum forming on some of these oscillators. Now, daily works really great for investing, right? But for daily, trying to day trade, on the daily is near impossible. But trying to swing trade and invest on daily is basically really good. Swing trading, sometimes you got to go intraday a lot, like a 1 hour, 4 hour, but investing, daily, weekly is perfect. Now, but if somebody does no effort on their chart, like they don't draw anything, then there's no reason to look at, you know, there's less reason to look at certain charts because it's like instead of just looking at the chart, yes, I can understand the price, but then in terms of actively doing technical analysis and like where are we going, where's my trend, where's my support resistance, you kind of have to draw on it. So you have to engage the tools and engage the drawings. That's what I love about TradingView. It's almost like an art palette to me. The price is like art, right? Or it's like music notes, or it's like colors, just whatever, however it makes sense to you that works in a profitable strategy. For me, I use certain colors, like I use like obviously like yellow or whatnot because I don't want it to interfere with the green and red. And I can see it from my far away, right? These like lines. That's why I use yellow. I can just see better. But we saw the trend line, the resistance and the support. So there was the support play. That's what I'm talking about, one of my strats. One of the plays that a lot of longs, it's no secret, right? Resistance is a short play. So resistance, okay, overbought, super overbought, short that thing down for a while, for a little bit. Now, if we had the breakout, higher high, higher low, okay. It just broke out of this little flag here again. Okay, nice. And then this is where you're about to enter. So you can see, right? If somebody was really, really aggro and active in terms of trying to get into this as low as possible, there's a double bottom here, actually. This is another perfect entry spot, $38. Then you would have a huge margin of safety. You would already be in deep profit, or I would even be in deep profit. So I'm not trying to chastise anybody, make anybody feel bad. It's if we're trying to fine tune, and this is like the optimizing the efficiency of how do I turn so-so trades or okay trades into wildly profitable trades and consistent trades, is finding the setups and identifying them in real time and being brave and just put the trade on. Right? Could have done it here as well. Could have done it here as $52. Because if we're looking at crypto, we're looking at Coinbase or Overstock or whatever, that type of stuff, it's there. Now, resistance, $88. Resistance, $100. $116. Where's immediate support? Gap support, $69, $62, and then $52. Now, then I would, bring my risk reward tool. Let's just say it's like it was 10%. I'll just leave it big green, 50%. Then all it matters is where's my entry gonna be? Do you know what I mean? Like where am I gonna buy? If I'm looking at the chart. On this particular case, I might hide all the lines for a second. Right? So this is for also for Casey, but for anybody, for myself too. This is why I believe the bar replay is one of the most underutilized practice tools, as well as paper trading. Paper trading and bar replay are probably way underutilized for swing traders and investors because. And let's segue into this now. I want to end here. Thank you for that, Casey. Hopefully, I gave you a lot of information there. Again, I'm not trying to pick on a person. I'm trying to help people by giving knowledge, information, and education, and also my experience and opinion as well. It's not financial advice, just educational. Avalanche, can you tell me what the ticker symbol is, please? You're on TradingView. All right. So before we segue into indicators, I'll do one more that request on Avalanche, and then we'll move on. But again, while that person's typing it, is practicing the entries fine-tuning your strategy, fine-tuning my strategy, fine-tuning my entry, stop loss, profit targets, all of that. Very important. Very important. Okay. All right. Oh, AVAX. For some reason, I just call it AVAX, but I forgot it's actually Avalanche. All right. Thank you. Well, breakout. Breakout. You spelled that B-R-A-K-E. So subconsciously, are you talking about you think it might go down, or are you talking about the break, like a real breakout, like it's going to go up? So that all of that matters, right? I'll just take it, verbally. If you're thinking it's going to go up, break out, well, so we know Bitcoin already broke out. This RSI is kind of in the middle. It's still a neutral zone. There is a little bit of double MACD that's building here. Zooming a little bit closer. We haven't had that 4-hour up cross on Avalanche yet, AVAX yet, but it's happening. High, low, high, low. We could get that higher high. So is this the breakout you might be talking about going up to $20? Now, the question is it going to break out and hold above $20? That's a huge move. And it's going to take some time for it to keep rallying to the upside, right? You could see here, even on RSI, which is not the perfect indicator, but it looks like it's about to set up for that, right? You kind of feel it. It's going to pull back, no problem. If it pulls back on the price, no problem, right? We can see here, where's my higher low support? Right here above $17 or $17.40. $17.40. $17.40. And you can see it takes some time for it to rally, right? High, low, high is just above that red. And then sometimes you get like a big whale or something that'll come and go boom and buy everything. And then all the day traders freak out and flip out and follow along and trade. So if that happens, you should see some kind of explosive moves to the upside maybe in the next couple of days. We do have the FOMC Federal Reserve interest rate change meeting on Wednesday in America, and then the next day or two in Europe, central banks as well. So there's going to be a huge amount of news coming out on that. All right. Now, to show the flip side for a second is, all right, if it doesn't break out and we have a rejection, this is 1832. We'll see here if it's going to break down below $17 and see if it keeps going to the downside. But the fact is, there's a lot of 15-minute, 1 hour on these smaller coins are in an uptrend. Now we need the cascading upward effect that the 4-hour and the daily needs to get a golden cross. It's going to take some time, maybe like 30 days for that. But if somebody's going to play the breakout, let's just say I randomly bought right now, random, which I don't recommend random, but it's because somebody is asking about AVAX with stop loss, like 9%, I'm a target about 18%, and then just leave it alone. That's it. After you figure out your entry, your stop loss, your profit targets, your dollar loss, your position sizing, if you identify the setup, try to get the best spot in and just leave it alone. Easier said than done though, right? Because if you have a position, you're like check your phone every day. You know what I'm talking about? If you're a trader, you open up your brokerage account, you're like staring at the dollar number. And so that's why what I learned is if I get a good setup and I have a good entry, stop loss, I don't have to touch it anymore. As a swing trader, I commit to it, to the profit target, entry, and stop loss. Then it becomes a matter of I need to be buying at the correct spot. So now we really need to move on to some of these trading indicators. Okay. So if you read the news on TradingView, like when you open up your account, you'll see some what's new up here, right? And it's wonderful. TradingView is always inventing and improving, innovating their products and services. And like I said, when I started years ago on TradingView, like half of the features did not exist. So anyone starting now has phenomenal amount of phenomenal amount of tools and knowledge and information and these indicators. What am I talking about? Well, depending, I'm not sure if a free account has access to this. They might, but you just come to technicals, right? So if you want to find it up here on the bar, right here, this little bar, bar chart, or your / on the keyboard, which I use. And then you click technicals. And up here, you have these tabs: indicators, strategies, profiles, patterns. Now we have chart patterns that are updated. You also have candlestick patterns that if you're a beginner or intermediate to advanced, load them up and just learn it, right? Load them up, learn it on TradingView and Google, and just learn and memorize that way. That's probably the only way to really, I mean, images first, like maybe Google Images or a book or something might show you the pattern first, but then you could just try to find it, I'm saying. It's like a treasure hunt. So let's see. I like let's just put a bunch on. I'll just put all of them on. Hold on, let me erase my indicators right now first. Empty template. And then let's blast all the indicators. If you're on a premium, you could have a lot of indicators on. That's why I just stack them all. And for research purposes, this works as well. I like doing this as a exercise. So this is another good reason to consider upgrading to Pro or Premium. I do not work for TradingView, by the way. I'm just saying my own personal experience and knowledge and opinion is, if you're really into indicators and research and you're really trying to get to intermediate advanced level of technical analysis and charting indicators and tools, then maybe consider it, just to get, I can stack 25 or more indicators, I believe, on one chart. Where free, you could do like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or something. Like, there's a maximum. I don't remember. But let's see. First one, bearish flag. Did it find one on Bitcoin on daily? Yes, it found it. Did it hit the target to the downside? Unfortunately not. But did it find one? Technically, yes. It exists. But again, there is coding on this. I don't think we could see it. But, in the Pine editor of this thing, it exists, right? There's code of how to find them, the algorithm or the code is going to detect the moves or the candle pattern, the close, and then it's going to draw the lines of such. All right, bullish flag. Did it find any? I don't think so. It's just the inverse of what we saw. Did it find any double bottoms? Sort of. It found one here, March 2022. That was also a setting triangle, but then it did break out. I actually remember that. Small trade. There was a small double bottom here that failed. Did it get a little bit of move? Yes. Let me see if it finds any weekly ones. Yeah, this see, when it works, you can find one and it works. This is actually a ascending triangle as well, but this works too. That works too. Right? So sometimes you just get the indicators on, right? And these are actually chart patterns. So these are just price patterns. And these are not new. These are at least 25, I think, about 25 years old. So double top on the daily. No, Elliott wave might be a little too advanced for right now. Head and shoulders, did it find it? It didn't find it, but it exists. So it's not a perfect indicator set, and it depends on the time frame, the asset as well. Bearish pennant. Did this kind of hit the target? Sort of, almost. You could kind of see the general logic of it. If you use a smaller conservative target, it actually did hit the target, negative 12%. Sometimes it helps, right? But in terms of finding it, how many did it find? Like 1. So that's one of my experiences. A lot of the auto indicators, this is nothing against anybody, any Pine coders or anything, coders, is sometimes the auto indicators, doesn't always work, and then I have to find it manually in my eyes. That's why I just do manual myself. But if you're starting out and you're like, I don't see anything at all, then maybe try this. Consider trying it. Falling wedge. All right. And rising wedge. All right. So Bitcoin wedges, we're finding more wedges. Let's look at the falling wedge first. This is a perfect example of an indicator that actually works. Falling wedge. Beautiful. Beautiful. So if it's saying this is the giant measure move of this target, what was the measure move? Wow, this is huge. I see it's doing this leg. Okay, so then it's here to here. So it's supposed to say 140% target. Will it hit that? Maybe, maybe. Kind of a large number. A little bit, I would say maybe a conservative version of this would be like a right here, maybe a $40,000 Bitcoin would be a first conservative target. But you can see that it does help you find stuff. Because right now, right, how would I draw this on the charts? I would have already drawn that trend line and then this, and then I can identify, yeah, there's a rising, there's a falling wedge. There's a falling wedge, right? So it can help you draw things. And there's a little baby small one inside of here too. So for study purposes, perfect. It's helpful because it's real time for the most part. And then rising wedge, which sometimes is a bearish pattern. Let's see. You have a 25% to downside. Did he hit that? Almost. Almost. This little baby one too. Little small one. -12. Did you hit that to the downside? That one hit. Took a while though. But even if you don't, so you don't have to worry if you're a beginner like, oh my goodness, how am I going to learn 15, 20? This guy's ridiculous. I'm not saying we learn it all at one time. It's just, some of them works, some of them doesn't in terms of the indicators. And it's just a matter of education, right? How long did that take? Didn't take that long. If you're learning for the first time, I would recommend a book or something like that, or like a YouTube or Google Images or a website or something like that, or TradingView to figure that out. There's probably a lot of articles on the chart patterns here on TradingView, but I've already studied them enough. Now, are there candle patterns? There are. I'm not going to do all of them, but same thing. It's just pick the ones. I like certain ones, right? Certain patterns and candlesticks that I believe just works better, and I just use those. Same thing with indicators, right? But before, if you're beginner to intermediate, what you have to master is the price analysis. Because as a technical analyst, what are we trading? The asset at currency price. We're trading in dollars or Bitcoin. So, and what do we look at all the time? Price. I would say half the indicators are created from price or volume. All of it is tracking the price. So to master the price is critical. That's why, into our last segment here, I'm going to go over a little bit. Okay, I'm doing a education special right now because it's earlier for me on Sunday. An educational special of how we're going to improve as traders, how we're going to improve as technical analysts. First study, right? You have to study and learn. If somebody is day one, they don't know anything, then they got to study the price, probably in a line form. Trying to identify, is it going up or is it going down? The white lines, the price. So if we go right now, let's do 1 year. 1 year. I used to practice like this all the time, alone by myself, right? It's on my computer. Is all right, I marked the yearly spot. January 2022, January 2023. Is the white line price going up or down? Let's say between the two pink lines, right? Between these two pink lines. Everything on the chart, is the price going up or down? The whole chart itself of the price. Identifying that. If you can answer that question, even if no matter what skill level you are, then we're starting to think the right way about price in terms of time length, right? So the answer is it would be going down. How do you know? It's a series of lower lows and lower highs in the price, and that's the textbook definition. You can also see it visually. I like to think about it as, told my colleague this, Are we going up or down? If we're going upstairs, it looks like a literal upstairs pattern, right? If it's going down, it looks like a literal downstairs pattern. It's not a series of random chicken scratch like this. It's not looking like that. It's going a certain way. It's going down, stairs, or it's going upstairs like we're starting to right now. So if we start the uptrend, we start the upstairs pattern, then buying on any of these dips probably is going to work out for us, right? Unless there's a major catastrophe like World War III, or the banking system in USA has a major problem, or in like Europe, or crypto has or if like Binance gets hacked, or if Coinbase gets hacked, or if the government bans Bitcoin trading in USA, then we have a major problem. Probably immediate crash on like 80% of the cryptos, right? So, but I'm just saying, in terms of price, we're not talking about news and events right now. We're just talking about the price. Can I identify when I just open up any stock, any chart, is it going up right now or is it going down? Here is a interesting point of, let's go to 2021. Beginning of 2021 to end of 2021, basically. They're close enough, right? Between these new two pink lines. Here is the price going up or down. This one's a little harder, but it should be, you know, since we just did a down trending price, is this one going up or going down? When from the pink start to the end of the pink end. The answer would be it's actually still going up. Very small, but, right? The key words were in what I was saying is from the pink start to the pink end, did it go up or did it go down? It went up 52%. This one's tricky because it crashed down. There are small down waves in here, right? But when we start to think about from start to finish, entry to exit, year to date, you start to hear those words on CNBC, right? Year to date, monthly, month to date, week to date, daily, like what happened today. Being able to identify that, right? Because the problem is with a lot of crypto and retail trading is, again, I was talking to my colleague about this, who's a professional. Can't say who, but right, or who they are, but right here, if we look at a watch list, right? Let's say we're not looking at the price. Let's say I'm looking at Bitcoin. Let me open this thing. I'm looking at Bitcoin and ignore the left side, and I just look at the percentage. Right? If I just look at the percentage and be like, oh, Bitcoin is up 4%. Or Bitcoin 28,000. That's one data point in time. But we know it's not a perfect example. But we know that crypto did crash down to 16,000 or 20,000. But still, you get what I'm saying, right? If you look at one number, we don't see anything else. Unless you have good memory. But how are we going to memorize every single price for every single asset every day? That's why charts were created. So we don't have to do that. But looking at one data point or one percentage is not really telling me anything useful, right? What is more useful is I set the watch list aside. That's why sometimes I purposely turn it off. Bring up the asset I want to look at. On my chart as a technical analyst and a trader. And then I analyze the price and say, are we going up? Are we going down? And then you start doing some more advanced stuff like, if you're a beginner, explore these tools. It's free. These are expensive tools. I don't know if people realize, maybe the emojis, right? If you're an emotional person, you want to get cheered up, just put a smiley face on your chart. You know what I mean? Or like if you like colors, then grab, if you're an artist or something, or you like colors and you respond to visual, is like me, use color highlighter. Is freedom here on the chart. You want to do this? That's not real technical analysis, right? But still, you get what I'm saying. Is it's not like you can't touch your own chart. Is you can chart your own chart. So again, for me, I like using highlighter tool. I like using trend lines, all this stuff, right? But it's all here. It's a matter of what works for you. How do you learn? What works for you? Does the tool or an indicator actually work? Instead of just looking at a watch list, or you go on Robinhood or something, you just look at like top 100 most hottest stocks. It's like, well, okay, we have to look at those as analysts and make a decision, right? All right, so everything I'm talking about in this stream, I've talked about so many times. If you've been following me since I started streaming on TradingView, which is over a year now, I talk about this all the time. Okay? So the summary is, if you're a beginner, it's all about analyzing the price. Start on a daily chart and just learn the price. Lines, the patterns, the candlesticks. And I would just recommend is be cautious. You're not zoomed in too much, because if you look at it like this, it's like, I have no idea what this means, right? It's like there's 2 points of data. Oh, wow, this one went up higher than the last one, but it's not giving me any significant information besides that. Yeah, zoom out. Even this, if you look at it like this, we didn't know that Bitcoin crashed down from $65,000. You got to keep going back. Study the history. It's the record of the price. Tells you a lot. All right. So we know we can study the price. We know there's these free tools all on the left side. We know up here there's hundreds of free indicators, technicals, indicator strategy, profile, patterns, price patterns, candlestick patterns. Now, how do you put it all into practice? Bar replay and paper trading. Paper trading is more for real-time use. You just click paper trading. Let me open that again. You click paper trading down here, or you click trading panel. Click paper trading, which is free. Connect it. You click this button here, paper trading, and then reset the paper trading account if you want. $100,000 fake money, commission settings, set it to your commission round trip broker, buy and sell. Fees, trading settings, I recommend turning most of these on when you're starting, maybe except for the buy sell button. And then you open up the order panel on the right side. I've talked about this many times. And real time for crypto, you just, if you're in the US or something, you just pick a US exchange on a USD, like BTC USD, and then you can practice like, oh, I want to buy. You have to tell the computer, the panel, what to do. I want to buy. For practice purposes, maybe use market just so it works, because sometimes limit doesn't fill on paper trading for some reason, maybe because the market is closed or there's some glitch. And then you set up your risk management. All right, so we're not talking about strategy right now because that's too advanced, but in terms of entry, stop loss, and risk management, we can, right? So let's say I just bought randomly, like right now. I identified, okay, it's in a higher high, upstairs pattern. I'm kind of buying high right now, but even if it crashes back onto me, crash back down to 23K, maybe I'll take that small loss and try to make sure I just stay in for that. Okay, if I start thinking about that way, all right, there's this stop loss here. What's my entry? 28,111, right? It's just market should fill me at that order number. A price number. Then my profit target is about 20% to the upside. So what is that? I'm looking at this right side here. I use yellow so I can see it. It's 33694. You type in here in the price box, $33,694. Then you have to set the stop loss. So your emergency market sell order if the price goes against you to the downside to minimize your downside risk. And then you type in, what is that number? It's kind of hard to see here. So you zoom in. That's why I use yellow. Zoom in. Okay, 25,508. Now that all the numbers are in, buy for practice, just use one Bitcoin number so you're not confused, and just buy this thing. Yes, you hear the sound? You didn't hear the sound because it's muted, but I heard a chime sound, right? It just bought long. Yes, there's slippage, and it's market order, right? That's why market order means buy at any price, doesn't matter what it is. So if in a second, if the price dips down negative 25%, in a crash for 1 minute, it's going to buy there. That's why I don't recommend market for everyday use. But if you really need to buy something for practice use, I would say maybe market when you're starting out is okay, but then you want to switch to limit order, right? Somebody always asks me, somebody came into my chat one time and said, just use market orders. And I'm like, well, as a long-term strategy, that's not good because it doesn't even mimic real life. When you go to the store, if I'm going inside Walmart, if I'm going inside Target or Ralph's or McDonald's, can you imagine looking at the screen of what you're about to order and all the prices are fluctuating before you? Right? Can you imagine that? That's what market orders are basically doing. It's just buying at whatever the price is on the market. It's just, if it's changing in that second or that minute when it executes, doesn't matter. It's just going to buy that price. So it's not good. It's not real life practice. And there's slippage. And if you have a large account, you're basically losing money, giving away money doing that. And it's not good. Market is usually for emergency and immediate orders. You need to buy it now. You need to buy it now. Then you do a market order. But that kind of mentality, I don't like that because it's more the FOMO mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're already saying, oh, I need to buy now, I need to buy now, that you're too emotional. If you pre-plan the trade, you can limit order and you don't need to buy it now. Right? So there's a difference in that mindset, what you're doing. So in this case, right, in the daily, I'm using a daily chart and I did a market order and it's fluctuating on me. Do I care that it's fluctuating a little bit? Because I'm a swing trader. If I'm a swing trader, I don't care that it's moving. If it was down like $100, I don't care. It's not my stop loss or my profit target. Because on a 1 minute, it's fluctuating, but I'm not day trading right now, right? I bought it at this higher low, just it was almost random, right? Higher low, it rallied, came back, probably went oversold, and then it bounced again. As a day trader, I would care about that. If I'm trying to scalp, if I'm trying to scalp futures or something like that, then on levers, then you need to care about that. But if I'm swing trading, long, regular long, 1-to-1, non-levers, it's okay. Right? All I care about is, and I really love this, what they've done with the paper trading, is you get to see your dollar risk on the screen. It wasn't like that before in the old days. So they upgraded it, right? If you hover your mouse over, it's plus 20%, but then you can see it's plus 5,594 US dollars. Negative stop loss, negative 2,591. Exactly. And they're not exactly 2-to-1. You know, it was a estimate. Okay. And then you just leave that. So I'm going to leave that here for next time when I'm on stream. And well, if I remember to open it, let's take a look at it next time. But I'm going to mark exactly where did I. And another tool is you can use a horizontal line. You can right click here. I believe you can add text. Yeah. So here, when you add the horizontal line, I'll do it up here. You can right click, settings, or double click. And you can see, you know, the style. You change color and the size, the type, visibility on what time frames, coordinates is just where it is on the axis. But then you can add text here. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just say entry at, just for all my records, 28,099.46 if you want to be really accurate. If for history purposes, I'm going to put the time and date on this thing. 3/19/2023 at 5:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for this paper trading example, and then I just have to change my coordinates to where exactly the price was, and it's going to drop back down there. So now we know. We'll lock this too. Lock it. So, because sometimes if you don't lock your drawings, it just moves around randomly because it doesn't save. I could also save the layout template up there. Let's lock it all in. And see, it went from like a plus 50 US dollars. I think it went up to plus 59, but that's day trading. Scalping, I'm not scalping right now. All I care about is my profit target, maybe even halfway profit target, my profit target or my stop loss. Anything else that happens, a swing trader, doesn't matter. All right. So while that's cooking, we'll let that cook for a week. That's the mindset of a swing trader. I'm going to let that cook for a week. Just leave it. Now, let's say I'm going to go to a different Bitcoin chart. I'm going to end soon. I'm in 5 minutes. Now, the last thing I want to show people is bar replay. A bar replay is historical rewinding of the price, and it draws the price in real time going forward. So it's like rewinding a video, rewinding a tape. Rewind it back and then play it back in real time at different speeds. You can also generally buy and sell one unit of crypto as practice, and it tracks the price. This is not really the best way to practice buying and selling because it's weird. It's almost like a day trading practice. Buying and selling like that without proper risk management, that's more like day trading and scalping. Mostly like scalping style. So let's just bar replay a little bit for a couple minutes and then we'll be done. So for Bitcoin, and this applies to anybody out there who wants to learn, doesn't matter, beginner, immediate, advanced, day trader, swing trader, investor. If you want to learn how to read charts, bar replay, study it first, static, and then rewind it and then let it play. So I'm going to close my eyes now. I'm going to pick a random spot on this chart. Actually, let me rewind. Let me get all this information here on this chart on a daily so that I can rewind. There's like, what, 6 years of data. I'm going to close my eyes. Just pick a random spot. All right. Up. All right. What I would say is I wish that paper trading, bar replay had a randomized function. I should probably message TradingView about that so I don't have to do that because, you know, people are just going to cheat and like stare at the chart, you know what I mean? Or if they know the history, I know that Bitcoin crashes after 2017. I know that, but, you know, trying to practice is still important. This is good. This is at the highest FOMO part, November 2017. This is a good example. All right. So let's get the long risk reward tool out right now. Let me get this thing off the chart. Events. Sometimes you want to turn economic events off sometimes, you know, if you want to practice. Get those blue lines out of the way. Now, if I was an investor, let's rewind the clock. Or swing trader, rewind the clock. Let's say I'm getting a 2-to-1, 25% downside risk, at least 50% upside potential on a swing trader or investment especially. Now, the question is, I'm just going to let this thing run at regular speed. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And the question becomes, where am I going to buy? Right? Where am I going to buy? I might speed up if it's too slow. All right, so now that we've seen, if I look at the chart now, I'd be like, whoa, Bitcoin's up 2,000%. Oh, stop. I might buy here for the first bounce. Why? Even in the massive 2017 uptrend, you can still draw trend lines, right? It went parabolic, so you can actually use the parabola tool and see. Right here. This is also the day that Bitcoin futures were introduced into the market. So we had a lot of shorting activity. So if somebody wanted to short that, if they're professional or on a foreign exchange, that was the spot to short, right? The setup. This one time of the educational setup. You rewind and you start studying like what happened. What did it actually feel like in real time, day to day, candle to candle? of this thing going up or going down. Because it lost the parabola. This is kind of harder to draw parabola curves, so I don't draw it all the time for people educational wise. But when it gets super overextended and it goes straight up shot to the moon, you kind of have to use it. And then once it breaks this to the downside, as sim triangle here, what's the measure move? Too big. It's negative 40% to downside. Did we hit negative 40%? Yes, we're kind of at this negative 40, 50% area. Now, this bottom yellow trend line is, if I wanted to be accurate with it, close it here, and then really get it inside to the close. Sometimes use a line chart. Maybe even push it up a little bit. You can see that's where the hammer candle happened. So right here, in terms of right on February 5th, 2018, there's that low. Having the patience for that, as swing trader, how long do you have to wait? 2 months, 60 days. That's swing trading. You gotta wait for it. So I probably would have opened one here. Would it have gone 50%? Let's see. I probably would have opened it here. Something like this, like a 20% to downside, 40%. If I'm like being honest with myself, I probably would have done something like this. So even if you buy or sell, it's up to you. You don't have to practice like that. But let's say I pretend I bought on this candle, like when it bounced back up, because trying to catch that bottom, it wouldn't have drawn itself. It had to wait 1 or 2 days. And once I saw that, oh, you zoom in. What am I talking about? You had a bearish piercing candle, and then you had a bullish hammer candle, also a piercing candle, then a shooting star. But that could mean that some shorts are taking their profit, and you had continuation, then pullback, and another bounce. But let's see. I actually don't remember this exact price history, so let's see if we get a bounce up to the target. Okay, there we go. Right? That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Identify, use some technical analysis, put some entry, risk, reward, and then it just matters. Is it going to hit your target or hit your stop loss? Because eventually it's going to go one of those places, right? And then how much do we just make right there? 38% profit potential on 4 lines of analysis. I simplify my process so much, I don't have to draw, I don't have to use 20 indicators. We didn't even use any indicators there. So it can be done. It's harder, however, it's harder to do that. I would not recommend it in real life, because if you actually try to do it, you will very quickly find out that the market is algorithmic. 80% of trades approximately is algorithmic trading in the stock market. So, you're fighting robots. You're fighting AI. Machine learning AI trading algorithms with up to 90% success strategy rate. You're fighting those people. Actually, it's not people. It's an algorithm. It's code. So then, if we take the profit here, and that's why, don't be greedy. That's why another one of my rules is, if it's my profit target, my stop loss is not down here anymore. Not down here at, where was it, 65, 63 Bitcoin. No. Once it started going uptrend, boom, I am instantly moving my stop loss, probably to 10,000 psychological. So I'll just leave it there, 10,000. And so if it falls down on me, I still locked in like 30% profit, and you walk away a winner. All right, see if it goes. There we go. Stop down 2 days. Shooting star, evening star, you sell, get out of there. Get out of there. Sell. Okay. And then if you're disciplined, it's probably going to bounce. And then if it's going to be a downtrend continuation pattern, it's all because right now in history, it looks like it's going to upside down head and shoulders, right? But if it has a neckline resistance right here at the blue line that I'm drawing, if we get this bounce, bearish reaction, then short that thing down. So if I'm going to pretend short, I'm getting in. My stop loss is what? As a swing trader is very large, but I'm still managing my position size. So even though it's 20%, it could only be like, it's not 20% of my whole account. It's 20% of whatever I put inside of this one trade in dollar amount. So if that rejects, let's just say if it's going to reject and it's going to bounce up and reject down, let's see if that happens. with the attempt, right? There we go. And wait for it to crash. Are we going to rally again? Is it going to crash? Lower low, lower high? Is it going to hit my stop loss? I mean, my profit target? All right. So here's a question sometimes I get is like, what if it doesn't reach my target? Then just sell, right? That's why I move my stop loss up. I don't really just leave it only here. I learned from experience, right? Why? Because it crashed back down, lower low, low, high, low, to the support level of 6,400. It was pretty close, right? And you can see that I drew this, my previous stop loss actually turned into a level support, right? You can also see that once it broke out of this trend line, this is getting to like kind of advanced mode. But once it broke out of here, then close the short. If you're a short, you know this setup is like you're shorting it down and then you start getting a long setup. It's because this is turning to support and it's about to break out. I would have immediately stop loss right here, 7261, 740.20 or whatever this number is. Stop loss, take my profit, walk away a winner. Walk away with profit. Do not walk away with nothing. Do not walk away a loss if I can. But actually, I bend that rule because I would be willing to take a small loss than a huge loss. Does that make sense? So sometimes what people don't actually, what I never hear in a lot of courses is you have to actually learn how to take the loss. That's like, you're like, what? But that's a skill that you have to learn because trading is never 100% profitable. So there are going to be many times where you're going to get stopped out, or God forbid, or heaven forbid, or universe forbid, that you have no stop loss. That's the worst case scenario for trading. But if you have a stop loss and it's, let's say you're trading stocks and you gap down below your stop loss and it's not going to sell, like the price is doing this and then it does this, and you're down like negative 50%, that was just bad trade management. Bad trade management. Hopefully it's not 50% of your account like most people do. So I hope this showed you some examples of how to use paper trading, technical analysis tools, trend lines, support and resistance, trend analysis, support resistance, long entry techniques, short entry technique, entry, exit, stop loss. I should draw this thing. Entry, stop loss, profit targets here, right? On the short and long side, okay? So this could have been a paid course, but you know what? I'm just going to give it away for free on this one stream, okay? So I really appreciate everybody following and watching, and I hope that regardless of your skill level, that you learn something or that you like this stream, okay? I really am trying to build a community of educated technical analysts, traders, and a community of people who actually like know what they're doing. Competent traders and analysts. Not just greedy people who are going to FOMO off Watchlist every 2 weeks. Right? That's like beginner status when you have a phone in your hand. You have a phone and your computer and a lot of energy. Right? That's not what we're trying to do here. There's a real tried and true techniques and styles and strategies and approach to the market that actually works. So just sharing some of that here on the free streams. All right. So I would appreciate it if you like this stream, if you liked and learned something, I would appreciate if you follow my channel or support the stream by following here on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, Discord. If you want to donate to me on TradingView, I would appreciate that as well. And I hope you have a good week. The next time I will be streaming is probably either March 26th or 27th, so that's Sunday or a Monday night. All right, everyone. Hope you have a good one. Let's have a good trading week. And remember always to have a margin of safety. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.